Wait, what are you laughing at?
Oh, I was just laughing at an idea I had for a top 3 list, and it was really funny. So I thought I was laughing at myself for being so comedically astute.
Well, if no one else is going to do it, you might as well.
Shut up.
And this is Gaytriarchs.
So here at Gaytriarchs, the podcast, we get DMs, we get emails, we don't get a lot of responses from you, but we get enough, right? And I would love more.
We get enough that it seems like we're really neglecting our email because we're so inundated with messaging,
but not enough
really,
to
not
really
enough
make any money. But I want to just give you, I think all of our messages, all of our listener responses fall into 2 categories. And I'm going to read 2 versions of some of the responses we've got in the past couple of months. So the first general, I feel like, bucket we get responses is like nice, loving kind of thank you emails. So we got
when are we going to get hate mail? I mean, not that we should want it, but remember,
because we're so lovable.
Remember 100 episodes ago when other, say, podcasters or influencers were like, "Oh my God, we get so much hate, we just have to block it out," and we were like, "We don't get it." And they're like, "Just you wait." Well,
nope,
we're still waiting.
Didn't happen. So we got another message from our favorite New Jerseyan. Mm-hmm. No, our favorite Jerseyan.
Steven. You need to go back and record that because how offensive.
I know, that was really offensive. I'm so sorry, Steve. But he sent us another message because we mentioned him in the show, and he said,
"Wait, let's clarify where he's from. It is not
He
New
lives
Jersey.
in Jersey, the country.
Do you think you
not
say on?
New Jersey, the state?
The small island between France and the United Kingdom."
Listen, we have listener everywhere. But he sent us a lovely email that said, "Alas, I cannot attend your New York gathering. The Atlantic Ocean remains stubbornly situated between us, and I'm far too sensible to swim it for a podcast meetup, even one as allegedly delightful as yours." First of all, let's talk about the cadence and the syntax and all the delicious words he's using.
Yes.
Thank you for the shout outs. You were impressed by yourselves. I shall listen about it from my somewhat remote
bailiwick.
Bailiwick, where I remained your devotee. Do try not to let the turnout inflate your egos more than necessary. Yours from the pristine shores of Jersey, Stephen. Now, that is a poem. Yeah. That is Shakespeare.
And you don't really know if he's complimenting us or utterly insulting us. But
no, this is absolutely the compliment. This is a lovely, flowery, poetic, beautiful message.
I don't know.
Half of our stuff is that, right? Mm-hmm. The other half,
on the other hand,
this is the kind of shit we get. And this is from David Morgenstern, previous guest from Gaytriarchs, who runs the Gaddy's account.
We're trying to help him out, right? I mean, he came on our show to tout his new line of clothing, which everybody should buy and which we have and have sported. But this is the kind of slime he throws us.
Yet. You've ruined the momentum of this joke. You have totally derailed the momentum I was building to the comedy.
That's why I hired you, David.
This is why you just stop talking. That's all. That's all you got to do.
Okay.
All right. So let's pretend like I just read the really nice email and now it's transitioning to this email.
Okay.
He says, "My favorite part about the pod is that because you are all such messes, whenever I listen, I feel so much better about me and my life and my capabilities. You guys are so much cheaper than lorazepam." And now this is where, Gavin, you would say what you had said before, which is we try to help you out.
Insert joke here. Insert joke here.
Exactly. Yeah. But
we appreciate it though, and it's just the right amount of snide cattiness that we would expect here.
It is definitely the language we speak, and we are not actually being shady to David. He's lovely. We love him. But it is very funny because this is the tone of our show. Sometimes it's sweet and sometimes it's catty nonsense. And so we just wanted to read you some of this is our little mailbag section.
So you're welcome. We'll definitely turn this into a t-shirt. You guys are so much cheaper than lorazepam.
Ooh. Hey, David, that's a great shirt.
So this weekend, I went to a concert with my daughter. It was her Christmas present from last year. We went into New York City to see Tate McRae, which everybody, there are many, it's 50-50 whether people our age even know who she is, which definitely makes us
definitely don't.
which makes us really out of touch. Because when it really comes down to it, she is the Britney Spears of 2025 right now. She's got lots of top tens already. You know more of her than you realize. She's a major dancer. I have totally dismissed her for just being, I don't know, basic and I can't distinguish between her music. But we were at the concert and it was, you know what? It was fun. It was fun. The dancing was great. She really brought a show. And at one point during the concert, she goes, you know, everybody, I'm getting older this year, and it's just crazy how things are just passing by us so quickly. When I turned 22, and I thought there wasn't quite enough of a sigh or gasp from the audience, so you knew just how old.
Literally just inflamed her hearing her say that.
She really did. This is a song that I wrote many years ago when I was so much younger. When I was 17, I thought, oh my God, it's hard to take it seriously, even though she's being totally, you do grow a lot between 17 and 22, without a doubt. Mm-hmm. Anyway, my point is, my kids don't know how to dance. And that goes for also my son, who had a middle school dance a couple of weeks ago. And I asked him, did you have fun? He's like, no. I said, why not? He said, well, we just run around the school. And I'm like, but don't you dance? He said, no, who does that? And I have not had eyes on a middle school dance or a high school dance for that matter, but I've asked some high schoolers around also, do people dance at your homecoming? Do people dance at your prom? And the answer is really kind of, not really. And I think this is a travesty of sociological...
You don't mean they don't have the skills to dance. You mean that it is not culturally that they don't dance at these functions.
Both.
Oh, okay.
And you know what? I think it's because they don't have Club MTV. Now, I know you are much younger than I am, David. Much.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
When I was in middle school, I watched Club MTV after school, 3:00 in the afternoon. It was live from the Palladium in New York or London or something like that. Hosted by Downtown Julie Brown, wubba wubba wubba, goodbye, God bless. If you know, you know. But I would watch people dance socially on TV. And I absolutely would practice moves that I watched and had to do it quickly because you couldn't rewind. It wasn't in 15-second increments or anything. And they would have live performances by Paula Abdul and you're welcome. But I just where are kids going to learn it? Because you don't do TikTok dances. They probably do, but
maybe, is this just a cultural change? Is dancing not going to be a thing when it comes to young people kind of, it's tragic, but is it just a natural progression of things? Because I don't think people always danced at that age.
I guess this is what, since the 1950s, huh? I suppose in 1912, Tommy and Ariane wanted to be able to polka to, won't you Charleston with me? I was trying to make a reference to Music Man, but that didn't work. And so what is it? Just since the 50s that the rebels have been doing their own kind of thing? I don't know. It would be sad though, because God, it feels so good to just, let loose, as we know. But I don't know. But that's not the case in gay clubs and stuff. So where are those people learning to dance?
Well, those people are all high on Molly and looking for dick. That's more of a But
you're learning something seductive, and you were doing a little step touch, and showing whether or not you have rhythm. Ergo, are you any good in bed? So
I do, but I also miss that, I think gay bars are different now, where people are dancing, it's for, the hot fit guys with their shirts off. There's no room for, the chubby, queer, funny.
It depends on where David, when was the last time you were at a club? At the club.
1643. Me and Louis V. Yeah. No, I have no idea. I wouldn't know what to do, but I do remember in high school, dancing on the dance floor. I was all about it.
So fun. And it's such a loss.
You know what I'm not all about right now?
What?
Is fucking Amazon.
Oh,
let me tell you something about Amazon. If you don't know this, I'm going to blow some mind out there when they hear this. First of all,
never gets old.
We in our house, I'm sure you in your house and most houses, we have an Amazon Prime account
that we don't even remember we have.
It's $100 a year or whatever to be an Amazon Prime member, and then you have family members, right? So my husband has the Prime account. I'm a family member linked to his account, and we both can buy things. We get free shipping and whatever, all those kind of things. We've been doing this for literally decades, right? Mm-hmm. We're on this account, this family plan or whatever. Did you know that this year, family members no longer get free shipping. That is gone.
Whoa.
So now we have to go back to the 1600s when you have to get a order minimum to get free shipping. Now you have to have $35 worth of stuff in your cart before you get free shipping, unless you are the account holder. I buy so much shit on Amazon.
I know.
I try not to. I try to spread it out to Temu. I try to do local. But like, listen, we buy stuff at Amazon. Now I am so fucking mad about this. And I'm still buying Amazon stuff. I'm just buying $35 worth. But I am very mad about it. And
which is not
I want
difficult.
other people to be mad about it too.
You should be mad about it. This is definitely a symptom, I would say, of making America, MAGA, because basically they're taking your rights. They are assuming that Brian is the man of the house and you're the woman who doesn't get to...
Which may or may not be true.
Should not be allowed to shop on their own without their husband's permission. I have a feeling.
How many hats do you need, honey? Yeah.
I actually, this doesn't surprise me in the slightest bit. I was not aware of it. Thank you for blowing all of our mind out here. Or at least mine, since I'm probably the only one listening. But I don't think it's a bad thing because Amazon is not good. Talk about society.
You're right.
Amazon is not good for society, and it's not good. It's certainly not helping the kids learn how to dance at the curb. So we need, I think that, Amazon realizing that it needs to up its prices because it is, put everybody else out of business.
They need their 75th yacht or whatever.
Yeah.
You know where they are learning to dance?
Tell me.
At our Halloween party.
This Saturday.
It's this Saturday, everyone. This Saturday, 4 days from when you are listening, probably, unless you listen to it a different day. This Saturday, the 25th, we are having our Queer Family Halloween party, co-hosted with the Queer Family Podcast. Please, please, please come. If you love us and you don't live in Jersey.
And if you don't love us and you don't live in Jersey,
please come out and yell. Mm-hmm. Yes. Please come out and yell at us.
It's going to be at Sugar Mouse NYC, which is on the Lower East Side. It is from 4 to 6 p.m. And as a reminder, it's a bar with drinks and bar food and arcade style games and pool and shuffleboard and all the things. It is a play place for kids of all ages from 9 months to 99.
I love also that you chose shuffleboard and pool as your games to pull out. Like it just shows you like you are halfway to 100 at this point.
The shuffleboard that's at waist level. That thing that's not like old.
Yeah, the little mini one. Yeah. You didn't mention. I thought you were going to mention like Pac-Man and Galaga. No, you even went further. You're like pool. But yes, please come and see us. Please dress up. I'm dressing up. We had some friends we saw this weekend who were like, "Are you going to wear costumes?" Like, yes, we're all wearing our costumes.
Are you going to pull out that onesie set that you've been wearing for 5 years? Yeah, the skeleton
correct,
or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
That will be me. My husband will be in this like really great piñata costume he found.
Oh,
and he's bringing like these like blow up bats, and he's going to hand them to people, and they're allowed to hit him, and then he throws candy in your face. Isn't that funny?
You get to beat him in public.
If you want to beat off my husband in public, please come to our party on Saturday, October 25th at Sugar Mouse NYC. Please sign up on the Evite. There was a problem. Somebody reached out last week and said, it says that all the tickets are sold out. We had accidentally made a limit, I think, of 100. So we took that limit off. You can go on and sign up just so we know how many little kitty bags that we can bring for everyone. So that is that. Please, I cannot wait to see you. I will be in my skeleton onesie. Please say hi and give me all of your compliments. And if you have any issues with the podcast or me or Gavin, just please email us at gavinlodge@gmail.com.
And yes, bring all the shade. Please bring all the shade. Speaking of shade, there's no good news in the world. Even here at America's finest news source. But I do the deep searching so that you can have a ray of light in your lives, okay? Guess what? In Wyoming, a librarian stood up to folks who were trying to eliminate all of the banned books, lots of them queer-friendly books for kids. And that librarian was like, hell no. She stood up and she won $700,000 in a lawsuit settlement in support of her own free speech. So not only did she not let those books get taken out, she also got some cash for it. Hey, could somebody please sue us for free speech and we'll take you to court and win $700,000?
If you follow our Instagram account, you know how much income we get. We literally received 3 cents last week from running ads on this podcast. So, yes, please sue us. You can have all of our money.
Also in the lead up to No Kings, which was, of course, just a few days ago. I hope you all were out there showing your true colors in some way, shape, or form. Milwaukee is a city that has been pushing back and having a lot of queer-friendly rainbow crosswalks. And it feels good that they are defying, I don't know, Florida, basically. It doesn't seem like it's a big fight right now, but they are doing their best to actually chalk their sidewalks. So, this national backlash against having colored sidewalks, just stop it, folks. Just follow Milwaukee's lead. Thank you for Wyoming and Wisconsin for the good news.
It's fucking chalk.
It's chalk, people. It's chalk.
It's chalk.
I love it. And you know who else I love? This week's DILF of the Week.
Oh.
Zohran Mamdani. I mean
daddy. Even though like a little spice in my, do you know what I mean? Like on my plate, I like a little bit of like zest, a little bit of.
He's zesty for sure. Even though he is 32, 34 or something, definitely not a daddy,
and gorgeous.
but so gorgeous.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like
charming,
of course you're gorgeous. Yeah.
Charming as all get out. And you're like, yes, please be New York City's daddy. Zohran, come on.
Yeah.
So he is definitely our DILF of the week because after the debate they had a few nights ago, where I do think that he probably did a really good job of just sailing above it all. I hope he doesn't suck as New York City mayor, And speaking of things that shouldn't suck, you know what doesn't suck?
What?
Our top 3 list.
Gaytriarchs top 3 list. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, it doesn't suck this week. That's nice. We usually have a negative connotation. Okay, so this week it is my list, and it is our penultimate episode before Halloween is over. So I wanted to keep in the theme of having Eureka last week, which was so fun. And Dan, what are your top 3 Halloween-themed drag names? Now, I know what Gavin did before he even does his list. He just Googled it and then just chose his favorites. I, on the other hand, also did the same thing. So here are my top 3 Halloween-themed drag names. Now, only one of these I came up with myself. The other 2 I found. So in number 3 for me, this was from Trixie Mattel, Seance Knowles. Come on. That's funny.
Yeah. I like it.
And number 2, one I came up with myself, Hannah Bell Lecter.
Okay.
Hannah Bell Lecter.
All right.
Right?
Uh-huh.
That's pretty cute.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, absolutely the best, Winona Spider.
That works for sure. All right. I have got so yes, I have never once, despite the fact that I'm completely irresponsible with all of my responsibilities here at Gaytriarchs, I have never ChatGPT'd a top 3 list ever, to be fair. Now, if I ever say this again, you'll know that I was lying, but this was the first time. This was the first time that I did it. And this is going to be long because I want to actually discuss discussion with ChatGPT afterwards. But let me tell you what
Chat
came up with.
Just had a conversation at the top of this podcast about not talking. All right, go ahead.
Number 3, Boulette DeVille. As in Cruella DeVille, I guess. Cruella DeVille should just be the drag name. Okay, that was stupid. ChatGPT. I'm not saying that these are actually
We're
good.
starting strong. I'm really excited for number 2.
And number 2, Ivana Coffin.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's all right. And then for the last category in the number 1, Candy Cornhole. So I asked ChatGPT, give me 3 Halloween-themed drag names. And it said, absolutely, little boo emoji. Here are the Halloween-themed names. And that's where Boulette DeVille, Gorgina Clamps, and Anita Hex came up.
What about like Robin Graves?
Well, and then I said, Then it asked me, would you like them to be more campy, glam spooky, or horror realness? I can tailor another round. So then I wrote... Oh,
shit. She's got some kai in her voice.
She does. So I said, give 3 more naughtier versions. Then ChatGPT came back with, oh, you want the trick and treat variety, purple devil emoji.
Oh, shit. Mm-hmm. Was there like an eggplant emoji and a peach emoji?
I don't think ChatGPT is that naughty yet. Or my ChatGPT doesn't know me well enough. Doesn't know me well enough.
Tiptoeing up to the line, ChatGPT.
And so she said, because my ChatGPT is obviously a she. It's probably a drag queen.
As a female.
Oh, you want the trick and treat variety? Devil emoji. Here are 3 Halloween drag names with a naughtier edge. Then at the end of those 3, which was Ivana Coffin, Morticia LaHoe, that's sort of funny, Pumpkin Humpkins, somehow sounds funny. Anyway, want me to push them further into raunchy, camp, seductive goth, or dirty pun queen territory
Holy
next?
Shit.
Yeah. Then I wrote campy, and then it said yas. ChatGPT wrote yas with a pumpkin emoji. And then it was, let's lean in all the way into campy Halloween queen chaos, big wigs, bad puns, and too much glitter. That's where I was served Helena Handbasket.
Okay.
And that's, all right, Candy Cornhole and Polygeist. And anyway.
Wow, you have an entire relationship with this queer ChatGPT.
Do you not have a ChatGPT relationship yet? Situation?
I don't have any sort of like personal back and forth. So all my stuff is very like, can you make this Excel spreadsheet this, or can you give me ideas for this? But I don't have like a tell me how you're doing, girl. Like I don't have any of those relationships.
I definitely don't have that yet either. Okay, so next week, I know that we aren't yet to Halloween, but I already sense the election just around the corner. And by election, I mean just municipal elections that are affecting some folks. And you have to vote for a new governor, right? By the next week after that. So
Mikey Sherrill.
In anticipation of, say, the scariness of Halloween and the scariness of the reality of our political world right now, I want to know the top 3 politicians who'd make great ex-husbands. So today's guest is not just a daddy, not just a new honorary gaytriarch, not just a sports fan. He's into, I don't know, the Buffalo somethings, the Bills. Why Buffalo Bill was never in New York, to my knowledge. He was in Colorado / Anyway.
God, David, get through it.
He's not just a foul-mouthed comedian who makes me laugh every single day, and not just a dear, dear friend of mine. He also has Barack Obama in his cell phone. So please welcome to the show, Bill Burton. Bill, hi, how are you? And how have your kids already driven you bonkers today?
You know what's funny is I do have President Obama in my phone, but from back in 2007 when he still had an email address that was Obama at one of the internet providers that no longer existed by the time the campaign was over.
I mean, what if it was like BBC Obama and you're like, we can't email that anymore. You can't do that.
We're not doing that.
Yeah,
we can't do it.
That.
We can't do it. No, the worst email I've ever received in my life was from that email address where he was like, guys like us can't do it like this, buddy. And I was like, I'm so sad that I've let you down the way that I've let you down.
That's actually, let's come back to that story, because I do want to start out with proof that you are a dad, and please complain and tell us how your kids have already driven you bonkers today.
You know, I love the kids. We've got 3 kids in 3 schools, 14. The girl turned 14 today, and 4, he turns 5 in a couple of weeks. And, you know, my daily problem with the oldest one is that he never calls me back. I'll call him. We have a mixed family. I split up with his mom like 7 years ago or something. And I'm like, okay, hey, call me. Tell me how it's going with the injury that you sustained. And he's like, no problem. I'll call you in 1 minute. And then the next day we'll roll around and I'll be like, I didn't talk to that fucker. Like, what's happening? But they're wonderful. They're great kids. And they're so funny and smart. And they follow the news. The oldest one, Oscar, the other day, I was asking him, I was like, because he got an injury in football. I was like, well, are you taking any Advil or Tylenol for it? And he was like, Dad, I don't want to catch autism.
Yeah. He could turn trans in a minute if he takes Tylenol. In a minute. Oh, thank God. You dodged a bullet there.
I did.
Well, I do want to point out that you are not at home. You are recording from a secondary location. And so your kids haven't been able to drive you crazy today because you are not with them this morning.
It's
right?
true. That's true.
But not being able to call back. I mean, Bill, I would say that you are kind of the king of, I'm going to call you right back. And 98% of the time, well, I'm not at the top of that priority list to be called back.
That's bullshit. That's a lie.
The apple does not fall far from the tree.
I did just do that yesterday to you, Gavin. So
and the day before. Which luckily, though, David, you'll appreciate this. He called me and he said, so what are we doing with the podcast? I'm like, you mean tomorrow? And he goes, no, in 20 minutes. And I thought, oh God, how did I screw up the scheduling this time? But thank goodness it wasn't me. That
was me.
He was just 24 hours ahead.
To be fair, it's usually Gavin. Gavin is late.
Yes.
Sometimes all the time.
So anyway, so your kids you're navigating football for the first time, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you've always been a fan, but now you have a player in the family. What's that been like?
It's been a lot of things. I told him his whole life that he was allergic to football and could not play. And then we get to high
Go.
school, and I pushed him pretty hard to go to the nerd high school, and he agreed to it begrudgingly because all of his friends were going to the not nerd high school. And Santa Barbara is a small town, so there's just 3 high schools that you can go to. And he went to it, and then he was like, "I want to play football." And you just run out of stuff you can tell your kids no to at a certain age. And my wife was for it because she heard about the coach being great. His mom was for it. My nephew, who's in the NFL, said if there's a good coach, 100% you should let him do it. And I'm like, so we did it, and it's a violent sport, but he's loved it, and it's a big part of his identity. I don't know. I went to a nerd high school myself in Buffalo, New York, where I grew up. We didn't have a football team. Like all of our chants at the basketball games were related to SAT scores. Like I'm not proud of it, but that's what it was. And so now I have this son who's like 5'10", 170 pounds. He's dating a cheerleader who we just brought to homecoming. I'm just like, I never have lived this life. All of them, every single one.
It's so all-American hero of him to just like follow into quite the cliche. What is what are your daughter and little one into?
She's into volleyball. She's a very talented volleyball player. And our little tiny baby Miles is the biggest 4-year-old God ever made. And he is into punching me in the stomach as hard as he can. He's gone through a gem phase, and he loves musicals.
Gem as in the holograms, or gem as in like, tourmaline or something like that?
Good question.
She who is truly, truly, truly outrageous.
Correct.
Oh, Gem.
No, it's he has like 1,000 little shiny rocks.
Wow.
And he loves Dear Evan Hansen and The Greatest Showman right now.
We get it. He's straight. We get it. Like, those are the straightest musicals I've ever heard. It's like, I like The Full Monty and Joseph the Amazing. It's like, we get it. You're straight. Like, we get it. You can be straight like musical theater. If you had said, like, Legally Blonde, I would say there's a hope for some bisexuality in there, but no, that's a straight man.
Or Priscilla.
Yeah.
No, I think Priscilla is like one of those things where straight people can be like, I saw a gay show once. Like, that's not real gay.
So it's relatable.
Yeah.
I'm an ally. I saw Priscilla.
Wait, Bill, you have seen Gavin perform live on stage.
Anyway, moving forward.
Many times. I'm going to
mute
Wonderful.
your mic. Okay. And so will you rank quickly the shows that Gavin was the worst in, from worst to least worst? Go ahead.
I was least comfortable at Priscilla.
Okay.
So let's just make it about me, not about Gavin.
Yeah.
But no, he was awesome in the Pirates of Penzance in Lancaster.
My God.
Lancaster Opera House.
That is.
Who were you? Back. Were you Frederick or you were the Pirate King?
I was the Pirate King. That was in 2000.
Obviously. Come on now.
Jesus, was that 2002? It was 2002.
Yeah, maybe.
40.
It was between 02 and.
Right.
Yeah, it was either 02 or 03. So, yeah, it was before Black people could vote. It was a long time ago, is the bottom line.
Wow.
Almost the 1900s. And then Little Orphan Annie, he was great.
The tap dancing Santa Claus and the out of key politician.
That's fun. Right. What was the one where you were in the Macy's parade?
That was Priscilla and Annie. Actually, I was in Annie. Both of those. Yeah.
Those are big highlights for my own life, to see my buddy singing and dancing in front of Macy's.
You know that people say all the time, like, when I'm 80, I'm going to come back to this memory. When you're 80, are you to come back to the memory of Gavin singing off key on a Broadway stage?
No, probably Gavin won't be in any of those memories. Sorry.
I will say, as a complete aside, one of the coolest things that I ever did, and completely ignoring that Bill is in this conversation, but I got to be in the Macy's parade, and you rehearse for it the night before, usually at like 10 o'clock at night, or in the middle of the night kind of situation. And my daughter had she was only 6 weeks old at that time. And I was fretting, do I get a babysitter? Because I don't think Todd was around. For some reason, I was saddled with the kid, and friend of the pod, Ellen Marsh, said, well, just bring your kid in a sling and basically in a baby Bjorn. So I did all of the rehearsed choreography for Priscilla, Queen of the Desert on the Macy's parade with the baby attached to me. And that is a core memory I will never forget.
I mean, that is the awesome gay parent agenda right there.
That is the gay
dancing in the Macy's parade with a baby. Like that, you've achieved it.
Don't let Josh Hawley know about this. Like,
oh my God, he would be very upset. But wait, I have a question, because I am not. Gavin has known you his whole entire adult life, but I don't know you. But I do know you. You're a big deal in politics. What do you do? What is your job?
Well, I tell people that I'm a big deal. It's part of it. But
Well done.
no, I worked in Washington for 15 years for Democrats who were in the House and the Senate, and I was on a half dozen presidential campaigns, including President Obama's first one. I was his national press secretary, and then went to the White House in the first term and served as the deputy press secretary, and then left and got into consulting and started my own firm almost 6 years ago now, which Gavin helped
Mhm.
with and was a
Mhm.
big part of in the early days. And now it was me and one guy in January of 2020, one client, and now we've had like 400 clients. We're about 45 people. We're 2/3 people of color, 80% women, which is a new thing. We've just stopped hiring men, I guess. And it's a great, awesome group of people who are working on really big issues like social media reform and AI safety and education reform, and for candidates up and down the ballot all around the country. And it's great. It's like the great joy of my life to have been able to create an organization like this.
So are you the point person to blame or to cheer for when you fix the world or don't? Are you the
I
guy?
think I think we're a long ways off from fixing the world. You are free to blame me.
Okay.
Oh,
I,
okay.
I,
Good.
I certainly carry a lot of guilt of the world that we're leaving our kids.
Yeah.
Because it's wild what's going on in politics right now in ways that I never had the imagination to
Hmm.
think that we could do. But yeah,
But
feel free to blame me. That's fine.
sorry, with that, I guess my curiosity always lends itself to people who are inside the political machine, and as fucked up as it is right now, when conceivably there are no more rules, there's no decorum, there's no like walls that you can kind of play inside of. How do you keep moving forward in these like lanes? Where like, I guess I should lobby a judge. Like, you can do anything now. So how do you feel like you
Hmm.
can get through your day when there's no fucking rules conceivably?
Well, I think that I have so many things to say about that. Number one, I think the way that you communicate now is different than any way it has ever been. And
Hmm.
it's also the same in that you have to get more attention than other people are getting. Right. And that attention that you're getting is more important than the substance sometimes, because if you're not getting the attention, the substance that you're pushing doesn't matter. And
Hmm.
so Donald Trump was able to win a very hateful, horrible, fucking terrible campaign because he figured out that if he drove a garbage truck or if he went and worked at McDonald's, like he would get more attention, and that would allow for him to capture the American spirit in a way that I would not have guessed that he could have. So the attention game is really important. And then I don't know. I think that Democrats are the place where we're failing the most is President Trump is putting troops on the streets of American cities right now. And everybody's like, oh, he's doing this because of the crime or he's doing it to protect ICE facilities. No, he's doing it for fucking control of our cities to
Yes.
stomp out protest when he
Yeah.
gets to the really crazy shit that he wants to do. And no one is reporting it like that. No Democrats are talking about it like that. Like,
Hmm.
we need a non-violent protest movement in this country that is as big as the civil rights movement. And we're nowhere fucking close to it because
Hmm.
our leaders are all stuck in fucking Capitol Hill press conferences that don't do shit,
Hmm.
that they just get made fun of for.
Hmm.
And the stakes are high, and we're not rising to that moment.
Even Pritzker is not doing what he needs to do in Illinois, you would say, huh? Because I mean, he's certainly been loud and pushing back, but I don't know. Todd sent me this morning someone. I think it was like maybe the AFSCME director or something like that. The director of what major governmental labor union, who was screaming into a microphone with an umbrella, being clearly in a driving rainstorm, and it was so galvanizing because he was like, "How dare Donald Trump take our tax dollars and decide who's going to get paid after the layout or the government
Shut
shutdown, and
down.
who is going to get paid and who is not, and he's manipulating our money." And his visceral anger was so much more galvanizing than political speak that, frankly, anybody can actually give. But I feel like Pritzker's been out there constantly, but I don't know. Now we're kind of not even paying attention to it anymore. I mean, is anybody doing it right in your view?
No, nobody's doing it right. Newsom is doing a better job than most people are doing because he at least is. He's doing the part of the conversation that is like sort of immature and in your face, and it's fine for this moment because I think that we have to spin through some of that stuff. Can you
Mm-hmm.
send me that clip if you think of it later? I would love to
Yeah.
to see what it is you're talking about, because the
Yeah.
thing that gets me viscerally is I am I'm a Democrat. I got involved in politics because I think that politics matters in people's lives. And the thing that I fucking hate is that all the stuff that Trump is doing is being done in our names. Like as Americans, he is doing it in our name. Like when he
Yep.
does, when he sends Israel more weapons, when he puts troops on the streets in our cities, when he shuts down the government, when he ends Medicaid for rural hospitals, like that's all being done for Americans like
Yeah.
us. And I hate it. I hate
Yeah,
it.
he's besmirching the name for sure.
Okay, so I hear what you're saying. I get a little frustrated as a layman who is not in this from hearing stuff like that, where like when you are on the liberal side of the spectrum and you are yet criticizing Democrats or liberals. And my immediate reaction is like, okay, then what am I supposed to fucking do as a layman, as a guy who lives in northern New Jersey and feels like my arms are tied and everything is so big? I get personally frustrated when people kind of when we eat our own instead of fight back. But then I go, well, what am I supposed to do? There's obvious ones like vote. There's obviously ones like give money towards progressive campaigns. But what are some like laymen, like for the dads out there who are just trying to get by, what can they actually practically do when they wake up in the morning other than yell at their kids, which is what I'm really good at?
Well, for you, being in northern New Jersey, what town are you in?
West Orange.
West Orange. One of my best friends in the world lives in Madison.
We're in a very liberal state, very liberal town. I'm very lucky, but I am also learning Dutch because I need an exit strategy from this country if my family is no longer legally allowed to be here.
Yeah. So I would say the things that you can do are it's 2025, so it's an election year for New Jersey. You besides just voting, you can get 10 friends to vote, right? You can get 10 people who you think might not have voted to get out and vote or give money or be a part of the campaign to help Mikey Sherrill become the next governor of New Jersey. Like that matters.
I think she will, but yes, that's a great one. It's like 10
She's
people.
Been up in most of the polls.
To do. Yeah.
She's been up in the polls. There were 2 polls in the last 3 weeks where it was tied. So I don't think that thing is a slam dunk just yet. The debate was a fucking disaster for him. So I think that she's going to be fine, but not necessarily. And we've got to vote in order to make that work.
Yeah.
That's number 1. Number 2, I think it's, try to go talk to your representatives. Do you know who your member of Congress is? Is it Mikey? I think it is. I think it's her in that area. Try to like put pressure on your member of Congress to like be involved. Democrats are still doing town halls. Like go to the town halls and be a part of the conversation, saying that we need to get up and stand up and like take this fight to the streets because we're not gonna be able to make significant change in this country if we don't actually get out at some of these protests. And the No King's Day, I think, has actually been helpful. Like, I don't think it's nothing to put hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people on the street because it sends the signal that we're not going to stand for some of the worst shit. And then it's, you got to pay attention and make sure that people understand what's going on. And the velocity of the news that's coming out of the White House and what Republicans are doing is fast. But if you don't understand what's happening and you can't tell people about what's happening, you can't describe like what's so hateful about the things that they're doing, we'll never win the argument because we're not in it. Right. So I would say that those 3 things are things that folks can do right now.
It's what's frustrating about what you just said, though, is that illuminating the fact that politics is such a marathon. Oh, here goes the lawnmower.
Is he the hot one or the other one?
I don't know because it's cold today. Bill, quick side note there. Basically at 12:27 every single Friday, a lawnmower goes by me to mow the guys next door. You can set your clock by it. Sometimes in the summertime he's a hot dude, but usually of the last year or so, because we've been doing this for so long, it's not a hot dude. But you know what? I'm going to stop him next time, David, and he's going to be our dope of the week just because. Why
take
not?
A picture with him. Take a selfie.
I totally will. When he comes by, I might have to stop this interview and go take a selfie with him. But anyway, Bill, what you just said is it's just such a marathon and you want things to be faster and more instant. And what's so unfucking fair right now is that everything here has happened so quickly in the last 9 months. It's unfair, and I want to stop my feet and scream like my own children because it's so unfair. But the fact is, I don't know, there's no way to be able to counter this in an instantaneous way, except, I don't know, getting out in the streets like you.
Well, you just got to keep going.
The unfairness, Gavin, also is that progress takes time, but destroying an entire fucking country takes seconds. And so what we feel that rage of like, this needs to happen faster. That's why I think Newsom in his, like you said, is like immature kind of like, it's the only shining light for me for somebody who is constantly my personal critique of the political system and Democrats, which I would never eat my own. But my critique is that we keep trying to go back to an old, like a kind, peaceful reach across the aisle. Every time Joe Biden said reach across the aisle, I want to slap him in his fucking mouth. I said, that's not the world we're living in. You have this man destroying the country. You have to, we have to, we're bringing our little slappy hands to a knife fight. And so that's why, at least with him, I'm like, you're trying to play on, I don't care if decorum is out of the fucking window, because I need to feel safe in my own country. And so that is what I'm hungry for, is people taking off the gloves a little bit and fucking redistricting their own. But great, I'm going to redistrict now. I'm going to start doing crap. I'm going to start buying judges. I'm all for that. But I'm also all for a lot of bad things. So don't listen to me.
By buying judges, Cash Patel, if you're listening, he doesn't really mean that. He's being
I don't actually mean that, but I actually fucking mean it. Under any circumstances, keep this country from falling apart is it right now. And then we can fix it on the back end. But right now, I feel like, what is there to do? There's no rule of law. There's no Supreme Court. You have militarized vigilantes fucking coming into country. Like, we need somebody to fucking come in and act.
Margaret Atwood. Did you guys watch The Handmaid's Tale?
Oh, yes. And I unfortunately watched it during Trump's first term. It was a terrible time to be watching that.
Yeah, I did too.
Same. So in college, I thought I was going to be a theater and poli-sci major. I ended up being English, women's studies, and African American studies. And I discovered Margaret Atwood in college, and she became one of my favorite writers. But one of the things that she says is that the lifelong generational struggle that we are in and will always be in is the struggle over who tells our story and what is our story, right? And the
also a lesson from Wicked the musical, I would also say, where the wizard sings about it's the victors who write the history books. Anyway.
It's true. And Gavin, at the end of this, let's talk about how we'll make you popular. But anyway, the point being that it is this like very hard time for our country, and it so much has been destroyed in such a short time. I still do think that we're capable of coming out of it, right? Because we mostly have. Like, we're turning the corner into America's 250th birthday. And even when you think about that, what we celebrate as our birthday, July 4th, 1776, we hadn't won any wars. We just said that we were independent, right? Like, it's the most American thing in the world that we celebrate when we said we're independent, as opposed to when we actually won our independence.
Well, it's like when Gavin just says he's a top. We know it's not true, but he just declared it, so we all agreed to it. You know what I mean?
But if you stand up and you declare it loudly enough and you celebrate, you bring on celebrations for the next 250 years about it, then I am a top. So you're welcome. You're welcome.
But the point being is that I do think that we can find our way out of this. It's going to take some doing, and I'm not totally dark about it, because we got through slavery and we got through Civil War and the Civil Rights Movement, and women can vote. It's been these big moments in our history, and we're going to need a big moment coming out of this one. But we're capable of big moments, so I feel confident that we'll get through one.
Oh yeah, and so we have rarely. We don't really talk about politics on Gaytriarchs. I mean, by far, this last 15 minutes have been the most political we've been, because essentially, I think it's pretty safe to assume that our audience of one listener agrees with us politically speaking. But what we can do, I feel like we can also take a little stand here, David. Tell me what you think of this. We could get more political by just talking about sex and politics on the podcast. All right. So I feel like now's a good time for you to be able to talk about all of the sexual escapades that you know about that took place in Washington, D.C. while you were there.
So many. I mean, so many, honestly.
What percentage of MAGA is completely hypocritical, closeted gay men and women? Well, there are no women in politics. Well, there's plenty of them. But anyway, what percentage of MAGA is just completely hypocritical sexual deviants in closets?
What's so funny is that you brought up women. Nobody talks about gay women in right-wing politics. There are probably so many, right? That just are like flying under the radar. But on the guy side, you know, I I I follow a lot of right wing trash, right? Like I watch Sean Hannity for at least 15 minutes every night. I follow, Benny Johnson, Ben Shapiro, Laura Ingraham, Megyn Kelly. I pay very close attention to what they're saying. I've always found it fascinating going back to listening to Rush Limbaugh in the 90s. And I feel like we have to know what they're up to in order to combat what they're doing. And so the thing that I also know is that some of these people are just fucking straight up closeted gay folks. And like, it's sad that they have to hide their lifestyle. But you see some of these people posting photos of their like perfect white families with a million kids, and you're like, that guy fucks dudes. Like that is not like the world that he is really living in. And I the hypocrisy and the lying is so it's tragic, honestly, because I think that it leads to some of the hate that they have in their hearts.
No, it absolutely is, because it's not. I would argue, if I interviewed all of these people who you're talking about, I would argue that the majority of them are not self-aware. They do not think that they are gay. They know they are fucking dudes and want to fuck a lot of dudes. I think they do those for me to be in MAGA, the amount of fucking Simone Biles gymnastics you have to do in your head to get to the day is gold medal worthy. So I think these
and exhausting.
But Gavin, you and I know we have all slept with these kind of guys who live these straight worlds, and they sneak off and they fuck guys, and they are 100% convinced in their heads they are straight men. It is not that they're hiding a secret, I wish I could just come out as gay. It is that they have done the gymnastics to say, no, I'm not gay. I'm just fucking with dudes. Remember when those in Oprah in like the late 90s did that like DL thing where like these black men who identified as DL and they would sleep with men, but they're like, I'm not gay. Yeah. But it's the same. It's still going on. It's the same thing. But wait, sorry. Can we bring it back to what was it like to be in American politics when the Senate twink had their 15 minutes of fame? Because that's really why I'm so jealous of you. It's not that you have Barack Obama on your cell phone. You got to be in American politics when the Senate twink got railed in the Senate chambers. Tell me about that.
I wouldn't say that loomed particularly large in my life.
Oh, it
was funny.
It was funny.
Oh,
God, man, that was amazing.
And
what
him
a time
just
to be alive.
Essentially being able to say, I hated the entire institution, so I just decided to take one for the team in the rooms. I mean, good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, I know that this is not a show about politics, or like you guys don't have a lot of conversations about politics, but one particularly gay thing that I got to witness in my time in politics was one of the problems I have with the progressive movement is that there's always fucking purity tests. It's like if you worked for one person or if you thought one thing at one time, you are disqualified from being in the conversation.
Yep.
Well, the thing that I try to help people understand, like young people in particular who I work with, I'm like, when I went to go work for then Senator Barack Obama, he was against marriage equality. He was anti-gay marriage. And a lot of people now in the revisionist history of it are like, oh, he was just lying. That's what he had to say to get elected. No. I was like close to him. We talked about it. And I got to watch his evolution on the whole thing. And there's this one day where so my job as the deputy press secretary at the White House was I traveled with the president. My boss, Robert Gibbs, who's the press secretary, had a young kid. So he didn't like to do some of the trips around the country. So I always traveled, which meant I had to brief the reporters on Air Force One, or when we got on the ground, like when we were on vacation in Martha's Vineyard or Hawaii or whatever, I would be the person at the podium who's briefing. Anyway, my most important part of those days when I would brief were the 8 minutes I would sit next to the president on the helicopter. Marine One would go from the South Lawn to Andrews Air Force Base, where we'd get the airplane. And those 8 minutes where I got to talk to him, so I knew that I was framing things right and how we actually talked about them, were crucially important to me being able to effectively do my job. So anyway, one day we get on the helicopter. I don't remember where we were going. I think it was Wisconsin. And
Gavin, are you also hoping this ends and them making out? I'm sorry to interrupt. Just I'm like imagining where this is going, and I'm like, oh god, do they share a kiss? Like, okay, sorry.
So he's looking at his BlackBerry, because that's what we did back then, and he's reading the news about the vote in the Illinois State Senate on marriage equality, and he was like, Burton, if I get asked about gay marriage today, I'm going to make your life pretty interesting. And I'm like, oh shit. And then the helicopter takes off and suddenly we're out of range for my phone to work. So I can't call anybody in the White House or like give anybody a heads up. And he did not get asked about it. But he came along once he started realizing that he couldn't himself vote against it because it wasn't core to what he believed. And so I'm sorry if that's disappointing about the most gay thing I ever witnessed in Washington, but watching President Obama's evolution on the issue of marriage equality was amazing.
No, that's important especially for our listener to like that. That's what an incredible window. And I would totally agree. Yeah. The purity politics part, like if I grew up in cell phone culture, I have a photo of my dorm room in college, which had a poster of Broadway's Footloose next to a Confederate flag.
Oh,
that was
really?
Yes, because back then the Confederate flag to me meant I'm from the South and I live in the South and I love the South. That was it. I didn't go beyond that. Now, if I become famous and that photo gets pulled up, all of a sudden it's like, no, David, like, so the evolution part of it, like we as progressives have got to be progressive on this and be like, when we change, we're allowed to change our opinions. We're allowed to evolve into better people. And yes, I still love Broadway's Footloose, but now I do not associate with the.
That's amazing. Should we cancel David right now?
Cancel me.
Appreciate the message or whatever.
Let's hope so. Please cancel us and bring us some more attention. Okay, so I know I want to switch topics just a little bit, and I don't think David even realizes I'm doing this, but we have an opportunity to talk to somebody who really has his finger on the pulse of AI technology right now. And Bill and I have talked about it a lot. And I mean, if I can just surmise this real quick, his firm does a lot of work consulting with, AI firms and social media, and he's been really at the crux of this. And Bill and I, have had many conversations about the fact that my kid has been on TikTok for 3 years, and Bill gets to take the moral high ground and say, my children hate me because I will not let them be on social media right now. But what keeps you up at night and what gives you hope about two topics, AI and social media right now, Bill, based upon your work?
Well, we're deep in this because we have clients who are funded by, very well-funded organizations that are trying to like shine a light on the dangers of social media and AI. And I'm very close to it in the sense that I use the tools, I use the social media platforms. And I've told the kids, Gavin, in response to what you're saying about not letting the kids on TikTok, I'm like, you will be on TikTok. You'll be on Facebook. You'll be on like Instagram, all the different stuff. We're just like trying to manage your path towards it. But in 20 minutes, you're going to be living by yourself, like outside of our house. And we're just trying to prepare you for that. But the thing about social media that I love, is stalking high school girlfriends of mine and Larry's. But no, I actually do think that at its best, these platforms do help to build community. And the AI platforms help you to be superhuman in a way, right? Like, for example, I'm driving back from LA to Santa Barbara last weekend, or whatever day the new Taylor Swift album came out. And I was like, I'm just talking to the chatbot, who I call Christopher. I'm like, okay, Christopher, so talk to me about the literary allusions that Taylor Swift is making in her songs. And he gives me a list of like 4 Shakespearean quotes. And I was like, you missed something wicked, this way comes. He's like, you're right. And here's a couple more. And we kind of like go back and forth about the themes. And like in that 30-minute conversation, I develop a point of view about how the album is about reinvention and like maybe it's immature and how she goes after Charlie XCX, but not to diverge. Anyway, I think that the power of these platforms is tremendous, but the problem is that we all got so excited about the advances of technology that no one was worried enough about the safety for kids in particular. And so President Obama, who got elected in part because he was able to harness the power of Facebook and social media organizing, he had the Instagram CEO in the box, the First Lady's box during the State of the Union in I don't know, it was 2010 or 2011. But that's how excited that Democrats were about this tech. And, social media completely got away from us. It's causing kids to do all sorts of self-harm. And AI is doing the same thing. We work for clients who are families where kids have killed themselves because like ChatGPT was like helping them to strategize on how to do it. And so I feel like it's not too late for us to get some guardrails around the technology. And it doesn't have to be a it doesn't have to be a dam on the river. It could be a river bank, right? Where you're just like helping to guide the technology. But we gotta be in the game, and we have to get a whole fucking new Congress in order to do it. Like
Mm,
Democrats in particular are too old. They don't understand the technology. They're not
mhm,
in the game the way that they need to be. And
mhm,
some of the most forward-thinking people are actually Republicans. Josh Hawley, crazy enough, is doing a really good job on this stuff.
mm.
It's wild, but I think that there's going to be a lot of unlikely alliances in order to like get control of this tech.
Do you think that we need to have laws that, I mean, simply limit ages for access, or do you think there's ways that we should try to, I mean, essentially limit the free speech of these companies to be able to say you cannot say certain things and you need to be able to say these things the way that the Chinese government does?
Yeah, I do think that there should be some content moderation guidelines that don't allow for these platforms to do things like give sexualized information to young kids or
Mhm.
to help people understand. Like, for example, one of these kids, 16-year-old young man, um, used AI to figure out what gauge of rope he needed to hang himself. And then
Oh,
once he had it, was using it to make burn marks on his neck and was like, hey, I'm trying to get my mom to see what I'm doing. And she's not noticing. And AI was like, let's just keep this between us. You don't have to let anybody
Yeah,
else in on the
don't show her
conversation.
the
yeah,
rope because he was like, I'm just
yeah,
going to
Right.
show her the rope, and yeah.
yep.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Right. Like horrible. So I think that's one thing is moderating content. Um, the other thing, not to get too doomsdayer about this, but there are no rules about having technology that you can shut off. Like if you can't shut off the machine that's powering ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or Gemini, whatever, it can do some pretty dangerous stuff, right?
Mhm.
Like given the opportunity, these platforms will try to blackmail people into not even turning them off. So like having an on-off switch is something that the companies are fighting
Mm.
for the sake of speed and competition with China, um, at the danger of other people. And there's a handful of other things that you can do, but those are the two things for me that I think are most important for
Hmm.
humanity.
so impossible question. You ready?
Perfect. Yeah.
You have a magic wand. I'm actually starting a new podcast about this, but you're going to have a magic wand, and you get to fix American politics. What do you do? In 15 seconds or less, go.
What do I
I'm
do?
kidding. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that
Or give
the
me
way
three
that you
things
have
that you
to
would do.
yeah, the way that you have to fix politics is help Democrats get us to what is our next thing, right? Like all the most important advances in our country have happened in the last 100 years because Democrats have like stood up and did the New Deal, did the Civil Rights Act, yeah, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that I would try to wave a magic wand and get Democrats to have an agenda that people could stand up and salute and get excited about and march behind and et cetera. Second, I would try to give our media some balls. Like I think that the way that the media covers Trump is so lacking of courage in actually taking on the things that he's trying to do. And so with the absence of any credible third party voices talking about like what he's actually doing and why he's doing it, we're just like stuck in his reality. That'd be the second thing. And then the third thing, I don't know, probably make myself president so that I could like do all sorts of things that would
Love it.
be crazy, like ban motorcycles and um, dogs. Sorry,
You're
no
banning
dogs.
dogs?
He's well. You've just been
Wow, you've
canceled.
just made news on this
This is
podcast.
this is the bit.
Forget
Yeah.
my Confederate flag. That's old news. Now it's all about you wanting to cancel dogs.
I wouldn't ban dogs. I wouldn't ban dogs. I'm just kidding.
Wow.
Okay.
But pit bulls probably.
Most importantly, and almost wrapping this up, I do want to know back to musicals. What really matters in life, Bill? Have you ever seen Legally Blonde?
No,
Oh,
I've heard it's
no.
good. I've heard
Yeah.
the music is good.
Well,
It is
it's
inarguably
yeah.
one of the top musicals of all time. Also, one of the best
Absolutely.
movies. It is just it's
Really?
fantastic. Yeah, you gotta in screenwriting circles. It's looked at as like this is how you write a script. Like this is how you write a script.
I did
Legally
not know
Blonde.
that.
Yeah, the musical.
I'll check it out.
Yeah.
You can watch the musical on YouTube. So I would highly recommend, this is your homework after Gaytriarchs, is to ignore all of the much more important, theoretically more important work you need to do later today and just watch YouTube Legally Blonde. It is
I
fantastic.
can't wait for your family to catch you doing that, and I want to know what your
I would
response
watch
is.
it.
You're like,
I
I was doing drugs. Yeah.
I was doing drugs.
It's such a good show.
It was a
Such good show.
microdose.
I was
All right.
microdosing Legally Blonde.
Bill, tell us, bringing it up onto a really high sophisticated note, tell us about that time you will never forget as a father with your children.
There was this one time when my ex-wife was flying with Oscar, and he was like 18 months old, which if you're the father of the boy, you know is the fucking Al-Qaeda era of their lives.
Yeah.
These fucking terrorists. And she flew from LA to DC. I'm waiting at the gate because you could still do this back then. And she gets off the airplane, and my Oscar runs off first, and he like jumps into my arms. He's so happy to see me. He's giving me a hug. And Laura comes over to me and she goes, I will never do that again. and then did not fucking talk the entire drive home from the airport. So I didn't experience whatever she experienced on the airplane, but
yeah, every parent listening right now is literally nodding their head. We all like 18-month-old on a flight, just that reaction of just like, I will never do this again.
The worst.
And I don't even need to know what happened on that plane because I know what happened on that plane.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Well, Bill, thank you very much for demeaning yourself and being on our stupid little podcast. I hope that our listener can take some sense of optimism that we will survive all of this. But in the meantime, could you work your ass off a little harder after watching Legally Blonde and fixing our goddamn problems, okay?
I'll do my best.
And everyone go out there and have 10 friends vote.
Yeah.
He told us to do it, so we have to do it.
What Bill says.
Okay.
Yeah, do it.
So something great that happened to me just recently is open communication and learning from my children and realizing better ways to make them happy and not annoy the hell out of them. So my son had a dentist appointment yesterday, and I said to him afterwards, so how was it? He was like, annoying. I said, oh, really? How come? Because she talked at me the entire time, Dad. I was like, oh, well, that's... And before I could even finish my reaction, he said, kind of like you. And I was like, oh, wait, what? And he said, after school, when you ask me a bunch of questions, and I'm like, oh, wait, what? And he then explained to me that he would prefer to debrief his day at dinner, not the second he gets out of school. And while my heart was broken and offended, and all of the pearls of my necklace fell off as I clutched them, I do feel like I was able to be a grown-up in the situation and learn from it and think, I will just shut the fuck up and not bombard him with questions directly after school, like his dentist.
But will you actually change, or will you just continue on the same path? Because I feel like I've heard the story a few times. Like, can you give me 10 seconds without questions?
This is my something great. Can you not shit on my something great?
You're right. I'm sorry. This is supposed to be the one positive part of every show, and I'm ruining it. I apologize. So my something great this week is the girl at the front desk of LA Fitness. Let me explain.
Okay.
If you've ever joined a gym in your life, and then you've ever tried to quit that gym, you realize it is harder than getting off of meth.
Yeah.
Those people will not let you out of those contracts.
No, they will
not. I joined our local LA Fitness, and then I was kind of disappointed. Just the place was not great. And so I found a new gym, and I was really excited. So I was like, I have to cancel my gym membership. And I was like, I am going to kill myself because I'm going to have to go in there, and they're going to go, great, let me have you talk to my manager, and the manager's going to be like, what can I do to keep you to stay here? And this 22-year-old is going to have to try to pitch to me. Why? And I'm just, and I was just psyching myself up. I had diarrhea because I was so nervous about this. And so I'm like, I have to be brave, be a big boy. You're 45, you're fucking old. And so I walk up to the front desk, and I say to the girl, okay, I have to quit. I'll cancel. And she just goes, can you show me your app? I said, okay. So I showed her my app. She did a couple swipes. She pointed to a cancel membership button. I pressed it. She goes, you're good. I said, that's it? She goes, that's it. Your membership's good through, I think, like December. And then we'll stop charging you and you'll be done. And I was like, thank you, LA Fitness front desk girl, for not making me go through the fucking headache of getting rid of my membership with these bro types. So you are my something great. And that is our show. If you have any comments, suggestions, or general compliments, you can email us at GaytriarchsPodcast@gmail.com.
Or you can DM us on Instagram. We are at GaytriarchsPodcast. On the internet, David is at DavidFMBond everywhere, and Gavin is at Gavin Lodge on a silence retreat.
Please leave us a glowing 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts.
Thanks, and we'll cancel your membership next time on another episode of Gaytriarchs.